Right? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Did you have a chance to?
I didn't see that. Just that one little typo.
Okay, Michelle's taking care of the typo. With that, do I hear a motion to accept the minutes as written?
I so move, Mr. Chairman.
I'll second that. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Pass 2-0. Did you have any comments or committee reports?
I have nothing.
I have 1% sales tax meeting tomorrow night, 6 o'clock here in the commission room. I haven't had any other meetings this week, so. Okay, new business before the board. Last week we had this CenturyLink telephone company request a petition for utility placements on our right-of-way. We tabled it. No, this is it here.
I've reviewed that.
Okay.
That is the form that we like to see, and does appear to be accepted.
Okay. So with that, do you have any other questions on this? Do I hear a motion to approve and sign the requested petition for right away?
I so move, Mr. Chairman.
And I'll second that. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That's 2-0.
May just be one signature if we can.
I think 2.
Okay. Yep, finish date.
Okay.
Do you want to mention Mr. Sedgwick was here this morning? Workshop
On our morning agenda, John Sedich was here and presented his vision of possibly doing the strategic planning for the county. We hope to start late summer, early fall on the actual implementation or start of the process of going through it. We have, was it 2 or 3 other people that have showed an interest in doing the same to be the facilitator. So when we get after we've heard those, then we'll make a decision, probably, I think we said by the 1st of June, and pick someone to do that for us. Did you have anything to add on that?
No, but I think it's 1st of July. But we want to start earlier.
Yeah. County councilor updates?
I don't have anything.
Okay. I also wanted to announce that there is a vacancy on our NEK Multi-County Health Board. Our member at large is stepping down, so we are taking not applications, but if anyone's interested to send a letter of interest to the clerk here at the courthouse, or you can get it to myself or anybody on the NEK Health Board, and we'll be making the decision here. The commissioners have to appoint someone to fill the position that was being held by Elaine Oakley. There's no medical experience needed, but it always helps, being that this is predominantly dealing with the management of the NEK Multi-County Health Board. And that needs to be in the next 2 weeks, so if anyone's interested, please apply. Pat, did you say that on the opioid thing that they're coming? There is a.
I thought someone got on the agenda for the middle of May.
Well, I guess it's not.
There were some emails back and forth with Michelle that I was part of. I thought.
Okay,
They're definitely interested in coming, but I thought that there were some proposed dates. Maybe I dropped the ball there, but I thought I was copied on an email.
Okay, I know we were talking about it, and I just didn't know if anything was set, so that's something we'll need to check into. We got a news release on the Shannon Industrial Park, the fiber optic line that we went in with the city, and the line is now in place. It's on budget, and it's done. I know one of the businesses out there was in contact with me and said that he's actually being hooked up to it, I believe, this week. So that is another project that is complete. I also had a letter from Westar Energy. The route has been chosen for the line in the northern part of the county that's going from right north of 286th Road, from that point to Walnut Substation on the north side of Atchison. There's the route that it's taken.
We don't have to act on that.
No, it's just an information on the. Joe, you can come on up. Didn't catch it this morning and had a couple questions. One was, we never did decide anything on the center part of the desk here. I know you had priced a piece of glass, which was way too high. Was there any other solutions that we could do for that?
I mean, you could cut a piece of plywood. I don't know how good it would look. That would look kind of bad, probably. Paint it, stain it, finish it. I don't know. I mean,
it really, I mean, their desks are pretty narrow.
Last week we lost half of that row.
Microphones and everything fell off, and
okay.
You know, maybe we're going about it. Well, it'd be nice to have that area, but if we had a lip on here where that stuff couldn't scoot off, would help.
I mean,
that might be a simpler
handing stuff off. It's kind of inconvenient, but the main thing is stuff slipping off. You could just put a backstop on it.
These are presswood, I'm assuming.
Right, yeah, this particle board was over laminated. I don't know if I could get this lamination and do, if I could, I could do the same thing and make it match.
That's what I don't
But
know.
then I think you're getting into about the same as glass. I mean, you know, this is
My
not
glass
cheap.
was what, $1,200 or something?
Yeah,
It
it
was
was.
200 or 300.
Oh, it was more than that.
It was a lot more than that.
Oh, yeah.
Let me check.
Okay.
Yeah, it was.
I'll
It
get you
was-
several different options, and then you can choose how you want to go. How would that be?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, the question I had for you, I see we got a PO for the 2 controllers. I know we added the basement, but I thought the 2 controllers it was in with the original bid, but it wasn't.
The fob system on the doors.
No, this is 2 controlled access north and east doors. I presume it's the openers, and maybe it is just for the key fobs.
Who's it billed by?
Wire nuts.
Oh, yeah, those are the pops.
Okay, so we did add them. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, there's still something up in the air about the power for it, because since we didn't add it and then we added it, but then we took off some stuff, so there's going to be a change a little bit in the price, but not much. I mean, just a couple $100.
Okay.
One way or the other, I don't know.
About getting power to the
It
door.
takes a special transformer box where it drops the voltage, and those things take a lot more voltage than amperage than a regular, so it's got to have a special power box for it.
Always.
Right,
Something
and it was
special.
one of the things. I mean, it's what happens in construction sometimes.
I come in this door. Did we get the doors so they're easier to open yet, or?
I think they're great. I mean, they're as good as any door I've seen that has an opener. I mean,
Okay.
there's still a little more drag than what you would on a door without an opener. But if you're having trouble, there is an opener. So.
That's true.
But before they were, I mean, you'd see people just really jerking on and
They were
everything
pretty.
else.
They were pretty.
Have you tried them?
Yeah, I came in this door and I didn't even think about it. So it
You
was.
still in this door?
They're better.
They're better.
I know they said that when they first put them in that they were stiff, but
Well,
that
Yeah.
was.
I
They
like
were
it.
just.
I really like the looks of them. I think they look nice.
Yeah, the outside door was a lot stiffer than the inside door. Now the outside door is less than the inside door, and the inside door is less too because he also adjusted it down a little. So they are a little more than the other doors, but you're pulling all the mechanisms. If you would pull it slow, it'd probably be about the same. But when you try to open it fast, you got all those mechanisms you got to get going. So
Instead of like pull slow and let it take its time.
yeah, it would probably be about the same if he wasn't in a hurry. Just pulled it slow.
Okay. Is that project about complete then, except
It's
for,
finished.
I mean, it's all
Everything is done. We did a walkthrough Thursday, I think. So should be finishing up with the architect and final out everything. So we're done.
good. One thing done. How are we on the 88 bathroom? Where are we at on that?
Tom and I are done. We got the floor laid Friday, I believe, and they're supposed to come in and put all the finished plumbing in tomorrow. So it'll be open late tomorrow or early Friday or Thursday. Yeah, Thursday.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Then you start down here on this one then, or
Well,
you're gonna hold off?
I was going to ask about that. Are we going to do it, and when do we want to do it? I think it needs done, and if you want, I can get Tate to see if he wants to tackle this one. He's a little hesitant about it because this ran into a lot more than he thought as far as making sure it was ADA compliant.
Once you bring that name up, I noticed last month or last week or was it the week before that we had like 4 months late fee on some work that Tate done with the sheriff. Is there something that's not completed, or do you know anything about that?
I know a little bit about it. It's been taken care of, and there's no late fees.
Okay.
There was some trouble in getting the bills to us, I guess,
And
and
it's like 4 months.
it was $5 4 times, I think. But it's been taken off. They've taken it off. At least that's my understanding. It was the sheriff's department that
Yes.
they sent me the bill afterwards, and then I sent it on, and then they asked me about it, and then they called Tate, and then from what I understand, it's been taken care of.
Lost in communication, as they say.
Yeah, it's they have a thing about sending it to me sometimes, and I just send it on to the sheriffs. And I'm not sure exactly what happened, but I know that they took it off. I think it was as much Tate's as it was anybody.
Okay. It was no big deal, but you hate to see, you know there's something going on when you see that reoccurring.
Yeah, you don't want to pay late fees, period, much less 4 in a row.
Well, we didn't know it. Something had to be going on.
Yeah, no, it's taken care of, and they've taken it off. Right.
Okay, the only other thing we had, the nursing home, their lawnmower went down, so she got a TO for a new lawnmower. But I was just curious, are you utilizing all the mowers we currently have, or?
Are you talking about riders? They use our zero turn. We take it up there and leave it.
Well, evidently
We
that's
share
the
it.
one that.
But they use one here and there too, I think. I mean,
This is a zero turn that they've got a PO for. ZTR
But
mower.
then she also said she priced one for 42-inch deck, and if it was any bigger, they'd have to take the fence down.
Yeah, this is a.
So maybe it's something that,
that one we got's a lot bigger than
well, I'm
one too.
thinking it's 60 inches or something.
Yeah, I think so. So I know that they use another mower off and on, so that's probably what it is. They can't get
I
it
wonder
into
how much they mow the foot. I mean, it was 3,500, which is not a lot in the realm, but if we don't know where we're going to be at in 3 or 4 months or 6 months.
Well, I don't know if they still have that program or not, but when I got this zero turn here, you actually paid less for it than you could sell it for in a couple of years. I mean, it's because of government they had. I don't know if they still have.
She had ZR, she had the number of the 42 inch.
You just show it to him, maybe you can see something else.
Yeah, I'm not sure about this, but
She didn't want to say what was wrong with the other one. She said it broke down.
She said it just went down. So,
I know Brian up there was using his off and on, his personal mower. So that's a pretty good price for a zero turn John Deere.
If it was a 42-inch deck, that'd be pretty small.
Yeah, it would. That would be a small one.
well, there was question that we had several.
Well,
and we didn't know whether,
I thought the most logical thing to do would be just to use that, but if they got places where ours won't fit, then that changes it.
Yeah, we leave the one we have up in there during the summer. We haven't got there yet. We went out yesterday or Friday and tried to start it, wouldn't start. Battery was dead. I got a maintainer and it's charging, so I was going to finish up my mowing today, but it rained. And as soon as we do, though, I'm going to take it back up, start leaving it up there.
Okay.
But they are probably behind on mowing because it's getting pretty tall out there.
Well, I wonder if that's the case. Just the fact that you haven't got the other one up there, that she's saying, well, I'll get home. I don't know. You may discuss it with her.
so
They go all the way down to the street on
Yes.
the hill. That's a pretty good
Yeah, that's
size.
they used to have a regular John Deere, but it's kind of shot. A tractor with a belly mower.
that couldn't be this.
No, it's calm. It's pretty bad.
So what do we want to do? Do we want to table this?
Let's table it, and why don't you discuss it and
With
see
Peggy
what,
and
see what the issues are.
Okay.
She needs to get one.
I would say it's probably everything inside the fence that they've been mowing because I do know that they've been using a small rider.
She mentioned something about that.
Where that gazebo and everything is in the back, that's all fenced in. The whole back.
That's not a real big area.
Is that something she would need possibly? And you could authorize it and ask him to talk about it. And then she doesn't have to wait a week if it turns out she does need it.
We could do that. You get it.
I'm fine with that. Because I mean I don't think that's a bad price for what I know
See,
lawnmowers.
we didn't know that the lawnmower basically is homed up there. Then when you need it, you go get it, and then you bring it back. So it is there for them to use, but you haven't got it up there yet. So maybe she's just thinking the grass is neat and cutting. And
If she's buying one that small though, she's using it in that fence because they've got a lot of grass to mow. I mean,
she mentioned something about she has to have a smaller one because they don't want to have to remove the fence or something.
yeah, I would say there's probably what, 1.5 acres, 2 acres up there.
Probably it.
Mm.
So I'm sure that they're still going to want to use the bigger one.
Okay, well, if you want to still talk with her about it, and if you're in favor of authorizing
After she talks to Joe,
after she talks to Joe, do you want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion that we give Peggy the authorization to buy a lawnmower after she talks with Joe Bowen about the mowing.
Okay, and the total amount is $34,8750. I'll second that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Passed 2-0.
The jail roof got all passed and everything's good. They come back and did the things that they had to come back and fix.
We've gotten everything fixed, and they came about 2 weeks ago and did an inspection for the warranty. And it seemed like everything passed, but we haven't got the warranty. That's what we're waiting on to close everything out. As soon as we get the warranty from the manufacturer, we'll close it out. It's technically finished, but until we get the warranty, we can't close it out, I guess.
I hate to make too many decisions while we don't have a third commissioner. But at what point in time do we give Joe some authority to maybe start pricing windows?
Well, that's a big thing. I think we need to,
Wait a little bit.
that's something that windows on the courthouse, that's going to be
A lot of money.
huge expense.
And they need to be, but those doors, they're not historical looking, but I like them. They look good, I think. And I think they'll look even better than the windows to match.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree. They look nice. And there's a lot of safety issues and ADA issues that are answered.
About my first year, I think you had, I forget, but it was like $1.2 million for windows, doors, and heating and cooling, wasn't it? From
It
energy
was
source,
something like that.
$1.2 million. We all just kind of shook in our seats.
Well,
We also, with those windows, before we do those, we really need to wash the courthouse, clean it, and
You
repoint
mentioned
it.
that.
Because if we don't, that sealer that they put on,
Do something.
if they get it on your windows, you can never get it off. It etches into the glass, so you'll always.
And I think you thought that was around 20 grand, I think, wasn't it? Something like that.
I would say it's 4 times that.
Oh, really? I know they did it at the post office. They did it at the Leavenworth, and it looks like it just been built. It looks nice.
Yeah, the court or down there they did a lot more. I mean, I'd hate to think how much they spent because they did a lot of stone work. And their problem is they sealed that, and then the moisture got trapped in it, and that ruined a lot of their stones. So that's what happened there. But here on the east side, I don't know if you go out that way or look. I don't know what it is. It's a mold or something that's alive, and as it gets worse, it gets worse and faster. So we really need to.
are we going to have to address the air conditioning at the same time? Because if we buy new windows, are we going to want window mount air conditioning units hanging on our new windows?
It'd be
And
nice not to.
Huh?
It'd be nice if we didn't.
Well, and that's where we start getting into what comes first, and can we sling it all together, and maybe it's a time thing, and I've never asked before, but why don't we remove them during the winter time? I mean, because the cold air just comes in here through that.
Usually we cover them, but like this one in here, that's off and on all winter. It gets run. This one.
Where are you going to store them when they get?
I mean, Tom
You're talking
covers
windows,
all the rest of them with plywood and duct tape. I mean, he's got things that they built way in the past that they covered this.
Yeah, I mean, but it's very inefficient. So and then I get thinking of you put in new window sashes and everything, and then have those hanging on there. Whether that would be a good thing, whether it would pull on the seals or the,
Well, you'd be defeating your window a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
So then the first thing we need to consider is to have the building warrant, or whatever you call it. Okay. That would be the first thing that we need to have done.
Okay.
That's something that it's going to need to be done, and I don't know how much that would be. That would be a project that maybe we could get out of the way. So let's look into that.
Okay.
What's involved in that? Is it more than just simply taking a pressure washer and
Need some kind of acid.
running across it?
If we do it according to the state, there are special detergents that you have to use, and you clean it a certain way, and then you have to use breathable sealants. Like I said, down there, they seal the moisture in, and it has to breathe so it lets the moisture out. And you want to do that whether it is no matter what, if you seal it, and you would want to seal it. You got a lot of tuck pointing that is going to be, especially on the basement level. I don't know whether you've walked around and looked, but there's a lot of mortar missing. And if you pressure wash it, it's going to
release some more.
Yeah. And it won't come where it's completely clean. Memorial Hall, we washed it, and it was way worse than this 4 or 5 years ago. It looks a lot better. I mean, it's not like sandblasting, but it definitely cleans them up.
How often does that need to be done?
Well, that I really couldn't tell you. I think a lot of it depends, because now they have modern sealers and things like that that help keep stuff from growing on it. So it's probably different.
Well, adventures say there's never been nothing done to these since day one, has it?
In the 70s, they
Cleaned it.
sandblasted it.
Is that when they put these windows in?
Yes. And they blasted it clear down, and it looked really nice. I mean,
So what's that cost versus pressure wash? Twice as high? Is
probably
pressure washing just half doing the job?
well, whenever you sandblast a building, you're actually taking off about 1/4 inch of the building. And that's the reason why the state would frown on it. Plus, your sharp edges, you knock them around, and things like that. I mean, pressure washing, whenever they open up commercial streets, we drive by and we look at Memorial Hall, the stone up high, it was just black whenever they did it. And it looks good. And after he did it, there's an acid to it too. It lightened up even more after a month or two. I mean,
Kept bleaching it out.
yeah, so it looks good.
Well, I think that's something we could look into, just what that cost would be, and
I could even send you a link that I have pictures of it that you can just click on, and it'll show you before and after pictures of Memorial Hall, so you can get an idea of what it looks like.
I'd love to see that.
Okay.
Okay. Any more questions?
I can't think of
Do you have something for us?
Well, right now you want me to look into getting the building cleaned up and pointed, tuck pointed. And are we ready to do the women's bathroom as far as getting the prices and stuff?
I'd say we're ready to do the women's bathroom. I don't know. It doesn't hurt to get it priced, but to say we're going to do it 2 weeks after we get a price, probably not going to happen. I mean, there's some stuff that has to fall in the line, but if that's the first thing that needs to be done, we need to
On the tuck pointing, you mean?
tuck pointing and cleaning outside the building before the windows.
Okay, I've gotten that priced a couple of times, so I can get
Let's
that
just
to
look
you.
at your old price and add 10 or 15% to it, or give us a ballpark figure.
Okay, I'll
Yeah.
look and see if I can find those numbers. If I can, I'll bring them back.
Is
Kind of an
it-
exploratory look at what this is going to, before we actually get into it.
The roofs is okay.
I think 2 years ago I had them go around and put new tile here and there where it needs it. We've still got we purchased a bundle of that because we was just lucky to find it. so we have it in the basement now. The guy that did it for $1,200 or something. The people that will do it now, because I don't think he does it anymore, is like 12 to 20,000 to do the same.
Yeah.
So, and that has to be done every few years. Whenever you get a couple of tile that fall off, I mean, we've got to patch it. But that roof will be here long after I'm gone. So.
We want to definitely make sure that we have windstorms and things like that. That if any damage is done, it's documented when it happens. Is that I think that insurance. Didn't they help us out on those missing tiles? Seemed like we got some.
I think they did some of that. Yeah, I think they did.
I think some of that got turned in, and any documentation helps on that.
Right. What's your opinion on the women's bathroom?
I'd kind of like to know what it's going to cost us. Kind of get an idea.
Well, he'll bring that for me. Okay.
It's a small bathroom. It shouldn't cost very much.
Yeah, but you had to move stuff around, didn't you?
Yeah, we'd have to move
The stool has to go to the other way or something, I recall.
Wherever it's at, it's got to go to the opposite corner and turn the opposite way, because you can't get the grab bars long enough where it's at. It hits the door. So they would have to, but that's not a big thing as it sounds, because the plumbing is underneath, is easy to get to there. So now the other bathroom, there was quite a little bit of problems with it. I mean, the drains, they plugged up on us while we was doing it. I told them I wanted them fixed before we got done. They found about a dozen marbles in it.
Marbles.
And somebody put pop-ups in it instead of the screens like you should in commercial laboratories. And so I had them go ahead and switch them out in the other two bathrooms, so where they couldn't put marbles back in. There was a couple other lines that were cracked that we had replaced. I don't know, there were several things. And
Wasn't there something about the drain that was above the Register of Deeds office? Or
there was one there that we knew about, but there was a couple others that we didn't know about that we had to. And then when we pulled out the hot water heater, I wasn't comfortable with it, so we got another one. It's not a lot, all this, but I came back and told you it's about $1,000. We may go over that a little bit. I hate it, but it was just a lot of.
Whenever you work on stuff, it's like a piece of machinery or a car or anything. You always find other things, and if you're in it, you've got to do it.
Yeah, that's the reason why I didn't want to have Tate's bid it, because I knew that it would just be this problem with it. Because without a doubt, I saw this coming.
Okay. So then get some prices to us on one of the bathroom.
Okay. And if you want to do on that, I have the fund for in my budget that I never use that we could use for that. Capital improvements.
Okay, that sounds like it'd be a good spot for that.
So, I mean,
because we redid the men's and we redid upstairs and that one, so the restrooms ought to be taken care of.
yeah, the one upstairs right now today, I've been trying to get a handle instead of the knob to make sure it's completely ADA. It's took a little
That's what you
engineering.
was working on this morning. You said you were
Still
trying to
working on
retrofit something old to make it modern.
If you know how to get a 9/32 square key stop somewhere, I guess I'm gonna have to order it in because I can't find it. I had everything lined up, and then the square that holds them together was an inch short. This is after doing a lot of engineering. It's going to work.
Yeah, it might take a while, but it will work.
That's it.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right.
Is there any need for an executive session? I'm going to double check everything, make sure we got everything signed.
There was a bill that passed on these.
Oh, I see. I get you.
I was trying to be subtle. We had a question about a bill. It was a CB
There was
cheeseburger.
A CD is, I thought cold beer, we don't pay for alcohol.
I know where your mind's at, Bill. You're ready for one.
No, I'm not.
No.
Now it's 110 degrees out today. I've never heard of cheeseburger CV.
Yeah, I found it on their menu. So.
Okay, well, there a motion to adjourn at 1:37.
Somebody.
Made, I'll second it. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Pass 2-0. We are adjourned.